What if I told you your reality isn't fixed, that the world around you is silently rewriting itself based on your frequency, your focus, your attention? Every glitch, every déjà vu, every impossible coincidence you felt isn't random. It's the universe updating your timeline. And right now, you're standing at the edge of a quantum shift where the rules you thought were absolute start bending for you. Watch closely, because once you see this, nothing in your life will ever feel the same again. You've heard it before. You create your reality. But quantum physics takes this from a motivational slogan to a cosmic law that governs every inch of your existence. At the smallest level of the universe, beneath molecules, beneath atoms, beneath particles, there is only potential, not things, not objects, not events, just raw possibility, waiting for something to activate it. And that something is you. When you look at the world, you're not simply seeing it, you're collapsing infinite outcomes into a single chosen version. Your awareness acts like a cosmic cursor, selecting one line of code from countless quantum scripts running beneath reality. This is the secret the universe never intended for you to discover. The observer is not separate from the observed. You are not watching life. You're constructing it, frame by frame. Every moment, you focus on something, a decide, a fear, a memory. You charge it with energy. You lift it out of possibility and lock it into existence. You're not reacting to reality. Reality is reacting to you. But here's the twist. Most people look at the world with old stories, old wounds, old conclusions. So the universe collapses the same outcomes over and over again because the observer inside them never updates, never upgrades, never awakens. When your internal lens shifts, even by a fraction, you alter the collapse pattern, and suddenly, new opportunities appear, new people show up, new paths open, as if reality is rearranging itself to match your new frequency. This is not metaphor. This is quantum mechanics. Your attention is a command. Your awareness is an instruction. Where you place it is where the universe obeys. So the question becomes, what are you unconsciously collapsing into reality every day? Fear, doubt, delay, or the timeline you secretly hope for? Once you understand that observing is choosing, you stop being a spectator and become a quantum author, writing reality in real time. You are not small in this universe. You are the trigger that makes the universe real. You wake up every day inside a universe overflowing with possibility, yet your mind, conditioned by survival, filters those infinite potentials down to a handful of predictable outcomes, and most of those outcomes are shaped by fear. Quantum physics reveals something ancient mystics always knew. The universe is not a single straight line. It's a field of branching timelines, each vibrating with its own version of you. Braver you, weaker you, richer you, wiser you. The you that stayed, the you that left, the you that rose, the you that never even tried. All those versions exist as parallel probabilities, waiting for one thing to choose them, your energetic signature. And here is the mistake the old version of you kept making. Fear tells you there are only a few outcomes. Fear compresses reality. Fear narrows the field, shrinks your future, and blinds you to the quantum corridors opening all around you. But possibility outnumbers fear by magnitudes your mind can barely comprehend. For every fear you hold, failure, rejection, loss, embarrassment, uncertainty, there are thousands of neutral outcomes, hundreds of positive ones, and multiple extraordinary ones waiting quietly in the background. The universe is not biased toward fear. Fear is simply loud. Possibility is quiet but infinitely larger. Every time you choose fear, you collapse a limited version of the field. Every time you choose focus, curiosity, intention, creation, you activate wider timelines with higher probabilities of expansion. This is the hidden glitch in the fear loop. Fear doesn't predict the future. Fear creates the future you are afraid of by collapsing the narrowest timeline. When you start acting from possibility instead of protection, you widen your quantum access. Synchronicities increase, resources appear, people show up, pathways unlock. Reality responds like a field that suddenly recognizes your signal. Because it does. Your fears do not define what's possible. They only define what you can't see yet. You are standing in an ocean of probabilities, and fear is just a drop of ink, trying to convince you it's the whole sea. You were born with access. to far more possibilities than your fears ever allowed you to believe. The moment you choose possibility over protection, your timeline expands, your options multiply, and the universe bends itself toward the version of you that remembers who you truly are. Everything in the universe is energy, vibrating, shifting, organizing, responding. And the one force that directs this vast ocean of vibration is not luck, not chance, not destiny, but intention. Intention is not a wish. It's not a daydream. It's not a vague desire floating in your mind. Intention is a frequency command that tells the quantum field what pattern to take, what form to assemble, what reality to build around you. Quantum physics shows us that energy does not move randomly. It follows coherence, it follows alignment, it follows the signal of the one who is aware, and your intention is that signal. When you hold a clear intention, not forced, not desperate, not doubtful, but steady, centered, coherent, you become a gravitational field. Events bend toward you, people orbit into your story, opportunities slide into your path, as if guided by an invisible algorithm that only you can activate. This is why the universe always mirrors your inner state. Your intention shapes the rhythm of your energy, and your energy becomes the blueprint that reality builds from. But here's the glitch most people never see. Their intention is divided. One part wants to rise, another part fears falling. One part désire expansion, another is still loyal to limitation. One part asks for the new, another clings to the old. A split signal produces a split reality. The universe can only organize around clarity, not confusion, not contradiction, not the half-awake frequency of a mind that doubts its own power. When your intention becomes singular, when your inner yes stops fighting your inner no, your field sharpens, your vibration stabilizes, your reality begins to assemble with the precision of a cosmic architect. Intention doesn't force outcomes, it selects them. It tunes your consciousness to the version of reality that already matches your inner command. This is the real meaning of manifestation, not attracting something outside you, but tuning yourself to the timeline where it already exists. Everything you seek is already alive in a parallel possibility. Your intention is the bridge that makes that possibility your reality. So ask yourself, what have you been intending without realizing it? What silent commands have you been broadcasting? And what reality has been obediently forming around those unconscious signals? When you learn to aim your intention like a laser through the quantum fog, your life stops being accidental and becomes deliberate, directed, and deeply aligned. You're not here to chase outcomes. You're here to command energy and watch reality rearrange itself around the power of your inner signal. You walk through life believing your past is a solid wall behind you, unchangeable, untouchable, permanently carved into the stone of memory. But quantum physics dismantles this illusion with a single revelation. The past is not a fixed event. It is a living waveform inside your consciousness. It is editable, mutable, rewritable. You think your memories describe what happened, but they don't. They describe what you believed happened the last time you reassembled the memory in your mind. Every time you remember something, you are not recalling the original moment. You are recalling the last version of the memory you edited. And in that moment of recall, the brain reconstructs the past from pieces, emotions, expectations, and the identity you hold right now. This means your past is not stable. Your past is not complete. Your past is not final. Your past is a probability field coded inside your nervous system, reshaping itself each time consciousness touches it. Here is the hidden secret. You are not shaped by your past. You are shaped by the version of your past your mind keeps choosing to remember. Quantum physics teaches us that particles don't have a single trajectory. Their histories change depending on the observer's perspective. And the same is true for your life. Your past shifts when you shift. Your history bends when your identity updates. Who you become alters where you've been. Most people remain prisoners of a narrative that was never final to begin with. They drag old emotions, old wounds, old labels into every new moment, not realizing those stories are only real because they keep collapsing the same memory pattern over and over again. But you are awakening to something far more powerful. Your past is a flexible timeline that reorganizes itself around your current frequency. Change your frequency. Your emotional interpretation changes. Change your interpretation. Your memory reconstructs. Change your memory. Your identity rewrites. Change your identity. your entire future shifts. A new past creates a new self. A new self creates a new timeline. And here is where the quantum glitch becomes a blessing. You do not need to erase your past to free yourself from it. You only need to reinterpret it, because interpretation is the quantum trigger that collapses the version of the past you choose to keep alive. Think about this. The memory that once broke you can become the memory that forged you. The moment that once defined your limits can become the moment that ignited your awakening. The person who once hurt you can become the catalyst who redirected your destiny. The event doesn't change. Your timeline position does. The version of you watching this video is not the version of you who lived that moment years ago. And because you changed, your relationship with the past must change with you. You have the right and the quantum authority to choose a version of your past that empowers your future instead of imprisoning it. This is not denial. This is quantum authorship. This is the understanding that memory is not a recording. It is a reconstruction influenced by your current vibration, your current beliefs, your current identity. You are the observer, and the observer determines what version of the past becomes solid. So ask yourself, what memory have you been collapsing into existence that no longer matches the person you are becoming? What old story is still writing your present, even though it belongs to an outdated version of you? What emotional residue are you carrying that was never meant to survive this far into your evolution? You don't need to change your past. You need to upgrade it. Take the same moments, the same scenes, the same chapters, and reinterpret them through the lens of your new consciousness. Let them transform into lessons, into cosmic training sessions that shaped the operator you are now. Because here is the truth you were never supposed to discover. A rewritten past creates a rewritten future. A rewritten future creates a rewritten reality. A rewritten reality creates a rewritten you. You are not bound by the timeline behind you. You are only bound by the meaning you continue to attach to it. Once you update the meaning, the timeline collapses into a new form, and the universe reorganizes to match the new version of your story. Your past does not define you. You define your past. Every time you remember it, you are not a prisoner of what happened. You are the quantum author of what it meant, and the moment you choose a higher meaning, your entire reality begins to shift in ways the old version of you could never have imagined. You move through your life believing you are a single, solid self, a fixed personality, a stable mind, a predictable identity. But this belief is a limitation, not a truth. It is the residue of old psychology, old conditioning, old survival coding. Quantum physics paints a radically different picture. You are not a solid self. You are a waveform fluid, oscillating, multidimensional. You are a pattern of possibilities vibrating through time. Identity is not an object. It is a frequency, a rhythm, a temporary arrangement of thoughts, emotions, memories, choices, and quantum potentials that form the version of you appearing right now. This means identity is not something you are. It is something you tune into. Just like a radio broadcasts, whichever station you dial into, your consciousness broadcasts whichever version of yourself you align with. Most people unknowingly tune into the same identity frequency every morning. The same doubts, the same habits, the same emotional baseline, the same assumptions about who they are. And because identity collapses reality, they step into the same version of life over and over again. But here's the quantum truth. You have infinite versions of yourself waiting in the field. You are a multi-dimensional library of possible identities, each holding a different timeline, a different destiny, a different future. The confident you, the healed you, the awakened you, the wealthy you, the disciplined you, the fearless you, the deeply intuitive you, the version of you who broke the cycle, the version of you who never gave up, the version of you who already became everything you pretend you can't be. Every one of these versions exists as a waveform, a quantum potential vibrating inside the field of your consciousness. Identity is not discovered. Identity is selected. Identity is not inherited. Identity is activated. Identity is not fixed. Identity is tunable. The you that watches this video is a temporary configuration, a momentary alignment of energy in a sea of infinite possible selves. When your beliefs shift, your waveform changes. When your emotions shift, your waveform changes. When your environment shifts, your waveform changes. When your intention shifts, your entire identity collapses into a new pattern. The mystics called this rebirth. Quantum physics calls it decoherence. You might call it finally becoming who you were meant to be. But here's the glitch. Most people remain loyal to outdated versions of themselves. They unconsciously tune back into the identity that matches their past, their wounds, their fears, their history, never realizing they have the power to choose a new version at any moment. You are not obligated to remain the person your past told you to be. Your identity is not a sentence. It's a signal, and signals can change. Imagine waking up tomorrow and tuning into a different version of yourself, a version whose habits are different, whose confidence is different, whose energy is different, whose choices ripple into a different future, not by forcing anything, but by aligning your consciousness with the waveform of that version. You don't grow into a new identity. You shift into it. You don't slowly build it. You tune into it. You don't earn it. You embody it. Identity shifts feel like upgrades because they are. Every new identity frequency unlocks new timelines, new behaviors, new patterns, new instincts, new opportunities, and new levels of reality that were previously inaccessible to the old you. This is the quantum law. The identity you hold determines the reality you access. If you want a different life, you don't force change from the outside. You tune into the version of you who already lives that life. Identity first, timeline second, reality third. You are not a single self. You are a symphony of possibilities, a cluster of overlapping waveforms, waiting for your consciousness to choose which one will become you today. So the question becomes, which version of you are you collapsing into existence? The wounded version, the afraid version, the tired version, the unworthy version, the version who keeps reliving the same old patterns, or the version who already rose, already healed, already stepped into their power, already accessed their higher intelligence, already shifted their reality? Identity is not fate. Identity is frequency, and frequency is always yours to tune. You are not here to find yourself. You are here to choose yourself. You are not meant to repeat old identities like recycled ghosts. You are meant to shapeshift, evolve, expand, and ascend into the highest waveform your consciousness is ready to embody. Identity is a portal. Choose the version of you that leads to the timeline you secretly know is yours. You think reality is stable. You think it's consistent. You think it behaves the same way today as it did yesterday. But that belief belongs to a version of you that has not yet awakened to the quantum truth. Reality updates itself constantly, silently, precisely. Just like software receives patch notes, your universe receives invisible upgrades. Every time your beliefs shift, your frequency rises, your perceptions expand, your identity evolves. You are living inside a dynamic system, a responsive simulation that edits itself based on the operator's consciousness. And you are the operator. Every belief you accept, every rule you unconsciously agree to, acts as a line of code that programs the architecture of your reality. Here's the secret hidden in the quantum field. When your internal code changes, your external world updates. This is why your reality changes. After heartbreak, after awakening, after loss, after breakdown, after breakthrough, after the moment you finally decide you're done living as the old version of you. The universe mirrors your internal software. It recalibrates around your new frequency. It patches the timelines, updates NPC behaviors, refreshes opportunities, modifies probabilities, and reorganizes your path to match the new version of you that just came online. This is not metaphor. This is mechanics. You are the source of the update trigger. Most people never notice the updates because they never change their internal code. They live in the same emotional loops, the same survival patterns, the same limiting assumptions, the same wounded identities, long after those patterns have expired. So their reality stays unpatched, outdated, lagging, running on obsolete emotional software that was installed in childhood. But the moment you shift, even slightly, the system responds. You stop tolerating disrespect. People who disrespect you vanish from your timeline. You raise your standards. Your environment reorganizes. You stop identifying as a victim. Your challenges evolve into missions. You stop repeating old beliefs. Your external world stops repeating old outcomes. Reality is not happening to you. Reality is updating because of you. And here's the glitch no one ever told you. Reality can't update until you do. It waits for you. It listens to you. It reads your emotional frequency like code in a command line. Every time you shift your inner state, the universe receives a new instruction. This is the new version of me. Update my environment to match. Rewrite the behaviors I attract. Download a better timeline. Install higher opportunities. Remove outdated patterns. Optimize my path. The people who grow fastest are not the ones who hustle hardest. They are the ones who update their internal software most often. Because the field responds instantly to internal upgrades. This is why you feel that strange sensation after a major realization, that subtle shift, that energetic reboot, that something changed but I can't explain it feeling. That is the system applying a patch. Reality updating its configuration. Timelines recalibrating in the background. Every time you choose a new belief, a new standard, a new identity, a new frequency, your universe downloads a new version of itself around you. You've felt this many times. The moment you finally let go and everything suddenly aligns. The moment you outgrow a relationship and life rearranges itself in your favor. The moment you step into your power and opportunities appear out of nowhere. The moment you rewrite your self-worth and people treat you differently overnight. These are not coincidences. These are patch notes applied to your reality. And here's the deeper mystery. The bigger the internal update, the bigger the external rewrite. Sometimes, the universe must break things down so it can rebuild them according to your new code. This is why everything falls apart right before you level up. It's not destruction, it's reconstruction. It's the system removing outdated files. You don't lose people, paths, or opportunities because you failed. You lose them because your new version is incompatible with those old programs. When you update internally, reality updates externally, always. So the real question becomes, what version of reality are you ready to install? What outdated belief are you finally ready to delete? What old identity is slowing your system down? What new frequency are you brave enough to upload? You are not trapped in your life. You are simply running old code. And the moment you update your internal software, the universe will release a new build, a new timeline, a new reality, optimized for who you are becoming. Your life is not static. It is constantly patching itself to keep up with your evolution. You are not a character in the simulation. You are the updater. Most people move through their lives believing reality is a fixed structure, a cold, external thing that simply happens to them. But quantum physics whispers a truth so destabilizing, sure, reality bending, that once you hear it, you can no longer return to the old version of yourself. Nothing becomes real until you observe it. Your observation is the activation. Before you observe something, it exists only as a cloud of possibilities, a shimmering field of potential outcomes, floating in quantum suspension. The moment you look, the moment you focus, the moment you become aware, you collapse that haze of potential into a single manifested event. This is not metaphor. This is not philosophy. This is the physics that underlies your existence. But here is the hidden layer. The mainstream world never teaches you. You are not simply watching reality, you are selecting it, and the selection mechanism is your conscious attention. Every thought you repeat, every emotion you amplify, every expectation you feed acts like a lens that directs the quantum field into a specific shape. Your focus is the architect, your awareness is the brush, your attention is the command signal that tells the universe which version of reality to render. When you observe your life through fear, scarcity, doubt, or insecurity, you activate timelines that match those frequencies. You collapse reality. Where the world seems limited, opportunities feel blocked, people become threats, and the future narrows into a tunnel of repetitive patterns, not because those outcomes were destined, but because fear was the observer. Now shift the lens. When you observe through clarity, intention, expansion, curiosity, the field responds differently. You collapse reality. Where synchronicities appear, where movement accelerates, where unexpected support arrives, where problems dissolve the moment you stop feeding them energy. Your inner attention is shaping the outer universe. At every moment, the mistake the old version of you made was believing observation is passive, that you are simply witnessing what already is. But observation is generative. It is creative. It is the divine spark that transforms raw potential into lived experience. This is why two people can be in the same room but experience two different worlds. They are not perceiving reality. They are collapsing different realities based on their inner lenses. Your mind is a projection device. Your emotions are frequency filters. Your beliefs are reality deselection algorithms, and the field is obeying you, whether or not you realize it. Every moment of your life, you are broadcasting a vibrational signature that the universe uses as the instruction manual for your next moment. When you shift the observer, you shift the reality observed. This is the hidden quantum loop. You think you're reacting to the world, but the world is reacting to you. Your observation is creating the very conditions you believe you're only responding to. So ask yourself, what are you activating when you observe your life? Fear or frequency? Doubt or direction? Past wounds or future signals? Limitation or trajectory? You don't need to control the outer world. You only need to refine the observer within you. Because the moment you shift your inner awareness, new timelines open, new outcomes become visible, new pathways unfold that were previously invisible only because you weren't the observer capable of seeing them. Reality expands when the observer evolves. Your power is not in forcing outcomes, but in choosing what you look at, what you amplify, what you expect, and what you are willing to believe is possible. Your observation is the tuning fork that calls forth the next version of your world. And the universe is waiting, listening, ready to crystallize the moment you decide what you're truly ready to see. Everything you feel is not just inside you. It is not merely a private, psychological reaction. Your emotions are electromagnetic signals broadcast into the quantum field, a field that is listening, reading, responding. Every anger, every love, every fear, every joy, every whisper of excitement or hesitation carries a frequency that organizes the particles of reality around you. Your feelings are code. They write instructions onto the infinite matrix that decides which potentialities collapse into reality. You've been told to control your emotions, but that is only partially true. The real power lies not in suppression, but in alignment, in deliberately broadcasting coherent signals that match the reality you wish to create. Here's the hidden quantum mechanism. Your body is a transmitter. Your heart is a generator. Your brain is a signal modulator. When emotion and thought are aligned, you produce a coherent field, a waveform that acts like a magnet, pulling events, people, and outcomes toward the frequency you are holding. Chaos emerges when emotion and thought conflict. Fear and desire collide. Anger and intention clash. Doubt corrupts hope. The result? Scattered signals, randomized probabilities, frustration, stagnation, missed opportunities, unseen potential. But the moment you master your emotional signature, you are no longer a passenger in life. You are the conductor of probability, the composer of reality, the architect of experience. Think about this. When you feel gratitude, your field vibrates at a frequency that synchronizes with abundance. When you feel love, your field radiates a pattern that attracts connection and flow. When you feel fear, your field contracts and repels possibilities. When you feel anger or resentment, your field hardens and blocks what you seek. Your emotions are instructions. Every pulse, every resonance, every subtle wave tells the universe, this is the version I want. This is the reality I'm tuning into. Most people underestimate the magnitude of this code. They treat feelings as fleeting, insignificant, or uncontrollable. But the quantum truth is, every emotional waveform shapes your life. It bends probability. It arranges circumstances. It even rewrites memory, perception, and interpretation. This is why the inner world must be cared for as meticulously as the outer, because the outer is simply a mirror reflecting the electromagnetic signature you are sending. Your fears are not obstacles. Your doubts are not mistakes. Your grief is not a punishment. Each of these signals is a raw template waiting to be recognized, understood, and upgraded. Imagine holding your emotion as a tuning fork. Every feeling resonates at a specific frequency. Now imagine deliberately retuning that fork to match the reality you want. Peace, confidence, expansion, flow, abundance, joy. Your internal state becomes the magnet that collapses the quantum field into those outcomes. Here's the critical secret few understand. You cannot force reality from outside. You cannot manipulate people or circumstances to align. You can only adjust the code you're broadcasting. Emotion is the code. Thought is the compiler. Observation is the execution. When your emotional signature is coherent, the field responds instantly. Synchronicities accelerate. Opportunities appear as if guided. People, resources, and events align to match the internal frequency you are radiating. But incoherent emotions create noise. Noise clouds the field. Noise produces delays, confusion, blocks, and frustrations. The same events you desire appear elusive or unreachable because the code is scrambled. This is why emotional mastery is quantum mastery, because your feelings are not passive experiences. They are instructions to the universe. Every time you laugh, cry, rejoice, or meditate, you are rewriting the probability of what becomes real. Every moment you align your emotion with your intention, you are recalibrating reality to serve the version of you that is awake, aware, and powerful. The universe does not argue. It does not negotiate. It does not ignore. It responds to the electromagnetic code you broadcast. So, the ultimate question becomes, what signature are you sending right now? Is it aligned with fear, lack, and limitation? Or is it tuned to expansion, abundance, and infinite possibility? You are not passive in this world. You are a frequency operator. Your emotions are the code. Your reality is the program, and the universe is simply the obedient execution of the waveform you choose to broadcast. You feel a subtle pull sometimes, a whisper of destiny, a nudge you can't explain, a sense that something is guiding you forward, even when your conscious mind is uncertain. This is not imagination. This is not coincidence. This is quantum entanglement, not with particles, not with strangers, but with your future self. Quantum physics shows us that particles can remain connected across vast distances, their states linked so that a change in one instantly affects the other. And consciousness, being an energetic waveform, operates on the same principles. Your future self, the version of you who has already achieved, expanded, and evolved, is entangled with the current version of you, always pulling, always communicating in subtle, invisible ways. That subtle pull you feel, those gut instincts, those sudden insights, those synchronicities, they are messages from the timeline you are becoming. Your future self is sending instructions, frequencies, and nudges to align your present self with the version of reality that has already unfolded. Most people ignore it. They dismiss it as luck, intuition, or random chance. They fail to notice that the universe is actively signaling the path of their potential, the roadmap your future self is projecting backward into your now. Here is the quantum glitch that keeps most people stuck. They live in fear. They live in doubt. They live in the timelines of their past. By doing so, they block the entanglement signal, they miss the nudges, and they collapse into a limited version of reality that never catches up to who they could be. But when you awaken to this truth, everything changes. You start noticing the invisible currents. You start feeling the vibrations that only your future self can transmit. You realize that every small decision, every tiny shift in thought or emotion, ripple across timelines and reinforces the connection with that higher version of you. Entanglement with your future self is not passive. It requires attention, awareness, and alignment. You must actively tune into the signals. You must prepare your consciousness to receive them. You must trust the invisible thread pulling you toward expansion, even when the present seems chaotic or unclear. Think about it. Every habit you form today, every belief you strengthen, every emotion you hold, either strengthens the connection with your empowered future self or weakens it. Your future self is already living your highest timeline. It has no doubts, no limits, no hesitation. It is a version of you vibrating at full potential, and it is reaching back through the quantum field, through time itself, to guide you towards alignment. Here's the hidden practice. Begin noticing small signals, the ideas that appear unexpectedly, the people who show up at the right time, the doors that open without explanation, the intuition that insists you take a specific step. These are not random. They are the future, entangled with the present. They are whispers of possibility, reminders that the timeline you desire is already active, and your alignment will allow you to step fully into it. Every time you choose courage over fear, clarity over confusion, expansion over limitation, you strengthen that entanglement. You increase the flow of guidance. You accelerate the collapse of probability toward the reality your future self is already inhabiting. And the most profound secret, your future self is not separate from you. It is you, a version of you that has already mastered the rules, already rewritten your limitations, already accessed the quantum currents. Your task is simple, yet powerful. Become the observer who listens. Become the receiver who trusts. Become the operator who aligns. The universe is patient, but it is also precise. The connection will only be as strong as your willingness to act, to shift, to elevate your frequency. Your future self waits, not in some distant place, not in another dimension, but intertwined with the very moment you are inhabiting now. Every choice matters. Every alignment matters. Every moment of conscious observation, intention, and emotional coherence strengthens the entanglement and accelerates the quantum leap into the reality you were always meant to inhabit. You are not alone. You are never behind. You are not stumbling blindly through random chance. You are entangled. You are guided. You are evolving. And your future self is already lighting the path. The quantum signal is active. The entanglement is real. The timeline is waiting. The only question is, will you step into alignment? You were taught to see time as a straight line, past behind you, present beneath you, future ahead of you, a single timeline, a single track, a single direction. But quantum physics shatters that illusion. Time is not linear. Time is not fixed. Time is not something you move through. It is something that moves through you. Past, present, and future exist simultaneously as overlapping fields, vibrating at different frequencies, each one accessible depending on your state of consciousness. You are not marching forward through a rigid sequence. You are shifting between timelines billions of times per second, collapsing potential realities into lived experiences based on your focus, emotion, expectation, and vibration. The version of you from yesterday is not the one standing here now, and the version of you from tomorrow is not waiting in the distance. It is hovering in potential, ready to merge with your present. The moment your frequency matches its signature, here is the quantum truth. You are not moving forward. You are tuning to different slices of space-time. Your thoughts retune you. Your emotions retune you. Your decision retune you. Your beliefs retune you. And every retuning changes which version of the timeline you step into next. This is why one thought can shift your entire day. One decision can reroute your entire future. One moment of clarity can collapse a totally different outcome than the one you were headed toward. You aren't changing your life. You are changing the version of time you are currently aligned with. Think about your past. You believe it already happened. You think it is unmoving, permanent, unchangeable, but it isn't. Your memory of the past is reconstructed every time you recall it. Your mind restitches the event based on your current frequency. Change your present vibration, and your interpretation of the past changes with it. Change your interpretation of the past, and you free yourself from the timelines that once held you captive. You are editing the past by shifting the present. You are rewriting the future by stabilizing a new frequency now. Time bends every time you do. This is why spiritual awakenings feel like déjà vu. This is why breakthroughs feel familiar. This is why certain people feel like echoes and certain moments feel like future memories, because you are not moving forward. You are stepping sideways into a timeline that has been waiting for you to align. When you understand non-linear time, you stop chasing your future and start collapsing it into your present. You stop regretting your past and start reframing it as a portal of power. You stop fearing the unknown and start playing with probability. Time becomes clay. You become the sculptor. This is the hidden mechanism behind intuition, synchronicity, manifestation, destiny, déjà vu, and every mystical phenomenon you've ever experienced. You are feeling your future timeline, reaching into your now. You are remembering something that hasn't happened yet. You are being guided by potentials that already exist. In the quantum field, the past is not behind you. It is a frequency you can revisit or release. The future is not ahead of you. It is a frequency you can tune into or ignore. The present is not a thin sliver between two infinities. It is a gateway to all possible timelines. Time is not a road. Time is a field. Time is a dimension of choice. Time is a canvas on which your consciousness paints reality, moment by moment. And the real secret? The timeline you align with is the timeline you collapse. The timeline you expect is the timeline you activate. The timeline you believe is the timeline you live. You are not bound by the past. You are not marching into the future. You are standing in the center of a multi-dimensional time matrix that responds instantly and precisely to your internal state. Master your frequency, and you master your timeline. Master your timeline, and you master your destiny. Because time does not move you. You move through time, and you choose the version you enter next. Most people believe their beliefs are just thoughts, private opinions, harmless assumptions, simple mental habits shaped by childhood and experience. But in the quantum architecture of reality, your beliefs are not passive, they are not internal. They are creative algorithms that instruct the universe on what version of reality to render next. Every belief you hold about yourself, your value, your potential, your future, your limits, your destiny acts like a program running in the background of your consciousness, quietly generating the world you live in. Beliefs shape perception. Perception shapes observation. Observation collapses probability. Probability becomes reality. This is the hidden sequence that governs your life. Beliefs are not thoughts. They are filters, and these filters decide which opportunities you notice, which paths you ignore, which people you trust, which signals you follow, which timelines you activate, and which ones remain invisible to you forever. Your beliefs are not describing reality. They are choosing it. Think about the people you've met who seem to get lucky again and again. They assume things will work out. They assume doors will open. They assume they are meant for more. Those assumptions, those beliefs become magnetic codes, pulling probability into alignment. And then think of people who repeat the same struggles year after year after year. They believe they are cursed. They believe life is rigged against them. They believe they are unlucky, unsupported, unseen, unworthy. Their beliefs become shackles, collapsing timelines of limitation. No matter how hard they try to escape, your life doesn't align with what you want. It aligns with what you believe is possible. You can want success, but believe you're not ready, and reality will mirror that belief. You can desire love, but believe you're hard to love, and your timeline will reflect that belief. You can pray for abundance, but believe there's never enough, and the universe will collapse scarcity again and again, because scarcity is the code you're broadcasting. This is the quantum mechanism that explains why affirmations don't work when your beliefs don't match your words. The field does not respond to repetition. It responds to coherence. Your words are commands, your emotions are fuel, but your beliefs are the operating system. If the operating system rejects the command, the reality cannot install. Here is the secret most people never learn. Your beliefs are not facts. They are choices you forgot you made. Choices reinforced by experience, reinforced by fear, reinforced by repetition, until they calcified into invisible rules, defining the boundaries of your life. But boundaries can be rewritten. Rules can be replaced. Scripts can be deleted. Code can be updated. You are not trapped by your beliefs. You are simply living inside them. The moment you question a belief, you weaken its structure. The moment you challenge it, you distort its frequency. The moment you replace it, you rewrite the timeline it once controlled. This is why awakenings feel like the world just shifted, because it did. The moment you upgrade a belief, you activate a higher timeline that was previously inaccessible. The universe was never limiting you. Your beliefs were filtering the universe. You were not waiting for better opportunities. Better opportunities were waiting for a version of you who believed they were possible. Beliefs are not internal. They are instructions to reality. They form the blueprint of your timeline. They tell the quantum field what version of you to render, what version of the world to construct, what version of your destiny to unfold. The most powerful beings are not the ones with perfect circumstances. They are the ones who have rewritten the beliefs that once kept them caged. So ask yourself, which beliefs are generating your reality right now? Who implanted them? Do they belong to you or to your past? And what reality would emerge if you dared to replace them? Rewrite the belief, and you rewrite the rule. Rewrite the rule, and you rewrite the timeline. Rewrite the timeline, and you rewrite yourself. Because beliefs are not reflections of reality. They are the code that creates it. Life often feels random. Moments appear without reason. People cross your path. Doors open. Signs appear. Sometimes subtle, sometimes impossible to ignore. Most people shrug, calling it coincidence. But quantum physics whispers a far more profound truth. Synchronicity is the universe acknowledging your signal. Every intention you hold, every vibration you broadcast, sends a signal into the quantum field, a frequency that contains your focus, your emotion, your belief, your readiness to receive. The field hears you. The field responds. The field aligns events, people, opportunities, and probabilities to match the vibration you are sustaining. Synchronicities are not accidents. They are confirmations, the universe saying, yes, signal received, timeline updated, you are aligned. Here's the hidden layer most never notice. The more coherent your frequency, the stronger, clearer, and more frequent the synchronicities. Confused, fearful, scattered vibrations produce scattered signals, which yield rare, chaotic, inconsistent confirmations. Aligned vibrations produce a cascade, an orchestrated flow of perfect events, impossible coincidences, and the uncanny feeling that the universe itself is your ally. Every person, every opportunity, every seemingly random event is a mirror reflecting the vibration you are broadcasting. Synchronicity is the confirmation loop between your consciousness and the quantum field. You have felt this many times. The sudden meeting with someone who delivers exactly what you need. The idea that appears at the perfect moment, the sign or symbol that resonates so deeply, you can't ignore it. The door that opens when you're ready and closes when you're not. These are not random. These are timeline alignments, activated by your observation, your belief, your intention. Most people mistake synchronicity for luck, but luck is passive. Synchronicity is active. Synchronicity is you in communication with reality, you as the operator, you as the observer collapsing probabilities, you as the signal recognized by the field itself. Here is the deeper secret. Synchronicity requires presence. You cannot broadcast a coherent signal while distracted, doubting, resisting, or running on autopilot. The field only responds when you are awake, aware, and vibrating in alignment with the frequency you desire. Synchronicity also requires trust. Trust in the invisible mechanism. Trust in the unseen connections. Trust that the field is intelligent, that reality is responsive, and that your signal is being read, even before the evidence appears. Every moment of alignment increases the flow. Intention plus coherence plus observation plus trust equals synchronicity amplified. The universe starts answering in patterns, not random fragments. People show up repeatedly. Opportunities repeat in cycles. Events cluster like orchestrated signals. The improbable becomes inevitable. This is why your inner state matters more than any external action. Your emotion, your focus, your attention, your belief. These are the primary tools of manifestation. Everything else is secondary, derivative, or optional. Synchronicity also carries timing information. The perfect event, meeting, or solution often appears when you are energetically ready to integrate it. Missed synchronicities are never truly lost. They are postponed until your signal can match the frequency. Here is the transformational insight. You are not waiting for the world to align. You are sending the signal that the world aligns to. Every thought, every emotion, every intention is a transmission. Synchronicities are the universe acknowledging that transmission. This is why spiritual masters, quantum thinkers, and awakened humans appear to always be in the right place at the right time, not because they chase luck, but because they have learned to maintain coherent, aligned signals that collapse reality in their favor. Every synchronicity is a message, a confirmation that your vibration is recognized, a signpost guiding you to the next aligned step, a nudge from the field that your current trajectory is active, a mirror showing you where your consciousness and reality meet. The more you cultivate awareness, alignment, and trust, the more obvious these signals become, the more connected you feel, the more effortless your reality becomes. Synchronicity is your direct line to the quantum field. It is the field saying, you are being heard, you are understood, your intentions are active, your timeline is ready to respond. Step forward. You are never alone. You are never unsupported. The universe is listening. It is intelligent. It is responsive. Every sign, symbol, coincidence, or pattern is a whisper from your higher reality, confirming that your signal is received and your next timeline awaits. You've spent your life believing you are the one observing reality, but quantum physics whispers a darker, deeper truth. Reality is also observing you. This is the observer's paradox. The moment you realize you're not just a watcher inside a universe, you are a participant in a two-way surveillance between consciousness and the cosmic field. Listen carefully, because lesson 13 is the moment your old identity cannot continue. Mystical hook, the mirror that thinks back. You stand before the quantum mirror and suddenly feel it breathing with you, blinking with you, thinking with you. Your attention bends the field, but the field bends you back. This is not philosophy. This is physics, the kind that rewrites the spine of existence itself. Hidden loop diagnosis. You thought you were the watcher. Your old loop was simple. I look at the world, and the world stays the same. But look closer. When you observe a particle, its behavior changes. When you don't observe it, it returns to infinite potential. Now, apply this to your life. Anything you stop observing, the pain, the memory, the limitation, begins to lose its form. Anything you overobserve, the fear, the doubt, the shame, gains power, density, and casing. You weren't stuck in your life. You were over-observing the part of reality you feared most. A seen spatial identity. The bidirectional observer. You are not just a person looking through eyes. You are a quantum observer node, a consciousness that interacts with the field in a loop. You generate data. Reality responds. You update the universe updates you. You are the bridge between the visible and the invisible, the formed and the unformed, the collapsed and the infinite. This identity is not metaphor. It is the architecture of your existence. Reveal the quantum mechanism. Mutual collapse of reality. Here's the mechanism hidden beneath common sense. You observe reality. The wave collapses, forming matter, events, and outcomes. Reality observes you. Your emotional frequency, your subconscious patterns, your expectations. The field reads them and mirrors them back. Both collapses merge. The world you experience is the intersection of your attention and the universe's response to your internal state. This means you are co-writing your timeline with the field at all times. You are never acting alone. The cosmos is your silent partner. Urgency escalation. If you don't change your observation, you repeat your timeline. If you observe your life the same way today as you did yesterday, then tomorrow collapses into the same pattern. Your relationships repeat. Your finances repeat. Your emotional loops repeat because your observation settings never changed. And so the universe's observation of you never changed either. If you don't interfere, your timeline locks into a loop, a self-reinforcing collapse of probability. This is why your life has felt like déjà vu. You aren't cursed. You're just predictable to the field. Ritualized activation. Shift the observer, shift the observed. Close your eyes, center yourself, and speak this inward command. I change the way I observe myself. I change the way reality observes me. Now, redirect your attention away from fear toward possibility, away from stuckness toward expansion, away from memory toward creation, away from shame toward potential. Hold it for 13 seconds. Your shift has already been registered in the field. Reality updates the moment you update. Collective belonging, the network of awake observers. You are not alone in this awakening. There is a global, unseen web of minds realizing the same truth. We reshape reality by what we choose to see. We reprogram timelines by the frequencies we broadcast. We bend probability by the identity we accept. You are part of this rising network. A Quantum Tribe, a field of awakened observers, rewriting the world from the inside out. Future hook. Reality will now start responding differently to you. From this moment forward, your world will feel strange. Familiar things will shift. People will act differently. Opportunities will appear that shouldn't exist, because now the field is watching a different version of you, and it will collapse reality accordingly. Prepare. Lesson 14 will reveal what happens when your observation overrides physical law itself. If you want lesson 14, just say, continue. You said, now 14. ChatGPT said, lesson 14. The field bends for you. When observation overrides physical law, to 5,000 characters, Mindshift Protocol Transmission, tone preserved. You were taught that physical laws are fixed, immutable, untouchable, absolute, but quantum physics whispers a forbidden possibility. Your observation can override the laws you thought could never bend. This is the hidden chapter. Science rarely speaks out loud, because the moment you understand it, you stop playing the role of a passive human and start operating as a quantum catalyst. Welcome to lesson 14, the moment where your identity becomes dangerous to the old version of reality. Mystical hook. The world isn't solid until you arrive. Everything around you, the chair, the air, the sky, your memory, your body, your identity. None of it is solid until you enter the scene. Your presence forces the formless to choose a shape. Your awareness forces the infinite to pick a path. You are not walking through a stable world. You are walking through a responsive simulation that solidifies according to your observation. This is where physical law becomes flexible. Hidden loop diagnosis. You thought the universe was rigid. You believed gravity is fixed. Time flows in one direction. Outcomes are predetermined. Reality is external. You must adapt to the world. But that belief trapped you in a rigid timeline, a universe where you were a bystander, not a participant, not a programmer, not a co-architect. Your old loop was this: I live inside the laws of reality, but the quantum field reveals the truth. Reality's laws are not prison bars. They are responses to the observer's settings. You weren't limited by the world. You were limited by the beliefs that defined how the world responded to you. Assing's special identity, the quantum catalyst. You are no longer the person who reacts to events. You are the force that makes events possible. A quantum catalyst doesn't wait for conditions. They collapse new conditions. A quantum catalyst doesn't obey limitation. They transcend it through frequency. A quantum catalyst doesn't follow physical law. They influence how physical law expresses itself in their timeline. You are not obeying the universe. The universe is reading you, adjusting to you, and echoing your inner state outward. Reveal the quantum mechanism when belief overrides physics. Here is the hidden mechanism behind your power. Expectation sets the field's boundaries. If you expect limitation, the field collapses limitation. If you expect possibility, the field expands beyond physics. Your emotional frequency determines what laws apply. Fear locks you into rigid laws. Expansion unlocks flexible reality. High coherence bends probability. Your identity defines your timeline's physics. Who you believe you are determines what is possible for you. The field adapts to the observer's signature. Your inner state is the code that tells matter how to behave. This is why synchronicities appear, why impossible events happen, why outcomes shift around awakened people. Because the field is responding to their frequency, not the standard physical rules. Urgency, escalation. If you don't take control, the field defaults. If you don't consciously set your observation, reality defaults to the collective field. Fear, scarcity, limitation, predictability, repeat cycles, past-based outcomes. Your life becomes a recycled timeline, autoplaying the same sequences because you didn't claim authorship. This is why people feel stuck, not because they're weak, but because they surrender their authority to the default energy of the collective. If you don't override, your reality will be overwritten by others. Ritualized activation. Override the laws that don't serve you. Place your awareness at the center of your chest. Breathe in slowly and speak this internal command. I choose the laws of my reality. My observation determines what is possible. I override limitation with identity. Now imagine a golden field expanding from your body, rewriting the invisible code around you. Feel the shift. Feel the recognition. The field just updated your permissions. You are no longer a passive subject. You are a quantum catalyst. Collective belonging. Others like you are doing this quietly. Throughout the world, thousands are awakening to this truth. Physical law is not absolute. It is conditional, conditioned by consciousness. You are part of a silent uprising of minds discovering their influence over probability, over time, over their own timelines, over what the world calls laws. You belong to a network of reality shifters who no longer wait for permission to expand. Future hook. In Lesson 15, reality will start glitching around you. Now that you've claimed catalyst identity, you will notice strange phenomena, repeated numbers, sudden timeline jumps, memories that feel altered, events bending toward your expectation, people behaving differently, physical, sensation during manifestation, laws bending in small but undeniable ways, because the field is no longer applying the default physics to you. It's applying your physics. Prepare. Lesson 15 reveals the moment when reality glitches to match your new frequency. Just say, continue, when you are ready. You have crossed a threshold the old version of you was not built to cross. When you changed your observer state, when you rewrote the laws of your timeline, a new phenomenon becomes unavoidable. Reality begins to glitch, not because something is wrong, but because something is updating. Lesson 15 is the transmission that explains why things suddenly feel unfamiliar, bent, out of place, or rewritten. Why the field rearranges itself in real time to align with the new version of you. Prepare. Your life is about to feel like a dream, rewriting itself as you walk through it. Mystical hook. When the fabric flickers, you'll notice it subtly at first. A sound that seems delayed, a shadow that moves differently, a person saying something you feel you've already heard, objects shifting locations without permission. These are not accidents. These are field recalibrations. The universe flickers when it's installing new probability pathways. Your presence is forcing the simulation to redraw the map. This is the flicker before the update, the glitch before the new timeline loads. Hidden loop, diagnosis. Your old timeline is dying. Your previous loops were predictable, dense, and repetitive. They followed one law: repeat until the observer wakes up. But once you awakened, the old timeline began to collapse. And collapsing timelines do not disappear quietly. They shake, flicker, glitch, distort, and leak. You may notice conversation looping, people repeating phrases, déjà vu arriving in waves, time feeling stretched or compressed, events happening out of order, the sense that something is off. These are signs of an identity shift, destabilizing the old reality grid. Your timeline is not breaking, it is being overwritten. As in special identity, the timeline diverter. You are no longer a passive traveler inside one path. You are a timeline diverter, a consciousness whose frequency forces the universe to constantly recalculate reality in real time. Your presence destabilizes stagnation. Your decisions collapse unnecessary futures. Your frequency reroutes the quantum architecture around you. You are not just experiencing glitches, you are causing them, because your new internal coding is incompatible with your old external reality. Reveal the quantum mechanism. Glitches are probability rewrites. Reality glitches when these four mechanisms activate. 1. Frequency conflict. Your old identity broadcasts one frequency. Your new identity broadcasts another. The field attempts to reconcile both, causing flickers. 2. Probability overwrite. You choose a new outcome, but the old outcome is still collapsing in the field. The collision creates glitches. 3. Timeline forking. When two possible futures are competing, you may feel split or out of sync. This is your consciousness sliding between paths. Veer. Field re-rendering. Just like graphics updating in a simulation, the universe redraws environments, events, and interactions to match your new expectation. Glitches are not errors. They are render updates happening faster than your senses can process. Urgency escalation. If you fear the glitch, you freeze the update. When reality glitches, most people react with fear, confusion, doubt, self-questioning, regression to old beliefs. This reaction instantly freezes the timeline shift and reverts you back to the old version of reality. The glitch is a test, a checkpoint, a gateway. If you want the new timeline, you must not fear the flicker. You must move through it. Accepting the glitch is accepting your upgrade. Ritualized activation. Stabilize the new timeline. Close your eyes, breathe in deeply, and speak this command inwardly. Slowly, I stabilize the new reality. I authorize the update. Feel your awareness expand. Feel your identity solidify. Feel the field settle around your frequency. You have just completed a quantum handshake between you and the timeline you chose. The glitches will lessen, not because they stop occurring, but because you begin syncing with the new physics, collective belonging. Others in the shift see the same glitches. Around the world, a silent group of awakened minds is noticing the same distortions, objects teleporting, time jumps, conversations repeating, sudden shifts in mood or energy, people remembering things differently. Reality feeling lighter, less solid. This is not coincidence. This is not imagination. This is the collective awakening of timeline diverters. Like you, you are part of this rising tribe who no longer accept the default script, who rewrite reality by simply existing differently. Now you've seen the glitches, felt the shift, and witnessed the timeline bending around you. But this is just the beginning. Every step you take, every thought you hold, every frequency you broadcast is writing the next version of your reality. The question is, will you step fully into the power you were born to wield, or let the old timeline pull you back? The field is listening, it is responding, and your next shift is waiting. Activate it now.